years that was in the second division or something.
For something crazy like
For match fixing.
Is it match fixing or spot fixing?
What
Like
is that?
match fixing is you're altering the outcome of the match. Spot fixing is like
The stats.
like like how many corner kicks or like how many offsides or like will
Well,
there
then it was that because he admitted to his friends
gotta
that
be
he
it.
was purposely getting yellow cards for stats reasons.
Oh. Why would you ever admit that?
Yeah.
wow
That's why Fellaini's in there right
But
now.
he got 6 years. He's banned for 6 years from the.
That's it.
that's it
From the
That's
game.
it.
that's it. Here comes
He's
the
waiting for it.
Mourinho celebration, right?
Look at him. He doesn't even look happy.
He never looks happy.
He doesn't look.
When's the Chelsea next week?
Chelsea's
Or
tomorrow morning, yeah, Chelsea Southampton. Okay, Sanchez, we see you. Mourinho, not so much. What? That's so Mourinho too, right? The game is decided, and look at him like now he knows the camera's on him, and he's like making the whole gesturing, like, oh, look at me, like.
I think that he was yelling at the ref, like, call it. The game's over.
That's it.
There's a little bit of.
Southampton's gonna beat him in the final anyway. So.
Should we
I-
put a
I-
wager on this?
Yeah, I like that. I like to believe that.
Because look, Southampton has I mean they're fighting relegation too. So huge. But I think they're gonna come out against Chelsea. I really want them to.
Man of the match?
I think it's Sanchez. Right?
Really? Because of the goal?
Scored a goal. He was running at the end. I thought
He was hustling.
especially in the second half, he was moving. He was all over. I think he was affecting the game. I think Pogba in the second half, he kind of started to fade a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have a bad game, right? But if you're looking for like who's your impact performer, right? That's
Probably Sanchez. Yeah.
yeah.
Is it Sanchez?
Yeah.
Take a little look.
I would say Sanchez.
Lukaku.
Lukaku
Just
for
because his
that
presence.
for that assist.
It's brilliant.
What are we doing here? Let's go. All right, remember how we said we're going to look at the average formation?
Yeah.
So possession, obviously, it's slanted in the last few minutes again towards Tottenham because we knew that, right? Like the second half was
Yeah, seriously.
70-30, right? Average position.
Yeah, they fell even further back.
Look at that. This is a gauntlet, right?
Well,
That's
Look
pretty
how
much
they
how,
packed in.
And they packed in the midfield. Yeah.
that's how Mourinho would draw it up, right? Like here, just try to go straight down Broadway, right? Like no, that's how you defend. But I don't have a problem with that when it's 2-1 FA Cup semifinal against a good team in the last 20 minutes. I have no problem with that.
But not minute one of the
I've got a big problem with that. Premier League
game one,
at
minute
home
one.
at home against Watford or whoever. You know what I mean? If that's your dominant strategy, that's a specific scenario, right? Where you adopt that. That isn't this is what we play. This isn't our style, right? And if you're a Man United fan, you're not happy with that. But today, you love that, right? They're adventurous.
Two, yeah.
You score 2 goals. All right, Spurs got one back, but you held on at the end. They were still working. It wasn't. I've seen worse packings of boxes, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't.
yeah.
And again, maybe that's enough to sustain Mourinho for another year comfortably. I hope. Gabi doesn't.
I want him to go. I want him out of here.
Spurs, I don't know. Whoa. They didn't look like that in the answers.
Let's go back to
again.
the comment. You made the comment about keeping him because it's better for Liverpool because you think he's making Manchester United worse.
I think he's holding them back. Yes.
But they're second in the Premier League. They're moving to the FA Cup final, and you can argue that they're getting better than they were early in the season. So in the Champions League next year, they'll probably do pretty well.
Are they
think the
getting
more
better
time
than they
he
were
has.
earlier in the season?
I think they're getting better.
They just lost to West Brom in their last game. I don't know if I buy
We
that.
almost lost to West Brom. as
Yeah,
well, man.
true. But we're thinking about the Champions League. I don't think they're going, oh, FA Cup is all we have left. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just remember early in the season, like very first couple months when they were winning 3-0, 4-0, and they were smashing a few teams. Either way, either at any point in the season, I still think if you had a different manager other than Mourinho, if you put Pochettino in there, I think
They do better.
yeah, I think they're
Okay.
a more dangerous team.
All right. Sorry. Keep on going.
Spurs. All right. What did they do to? And at the end of the game, all they had was crosses. What else could they do to break this down? I guess.
Well,
right?
I think that's part of the problem. Is like they're too central. Look at how many people are playing in the midfield, and just clogging that up. I mean, it could be, the dog wagging the tail idea, and that.
It's just forced Tottenham to, like you said, whip crosses in.
Yeah.
And take shots from outside the box. That's kind of all they were doing at the end.
Yeah. Well, that's all you can do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably what they wanted. What United wanted.
Let's go to heat map. 4. 2. Ericsson.
Yeah, he started living in that midfield then.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right on top of the box.
I mean, what else? I guess what else could he do?
I would imagine the same is true for Pogba too. Do just second half.
Second half only.
Yeah. See, that's where he really built up that
Yeah.
time, and I would have bet Pogba, because Pogba was pretty much marking him towards the end. So I bet Pogba would be the same.
In the second half.
Yeah. Wow.
Second half.
Not really.
In the midfield.
Yeah,
Middle of the.
Yeah, I guess if you look at it, do first half and second half,
well,
he started to move central more.
First half,
He was outside of the wing more.
He was on the left side. Second half, I guess a bit more on the right side,
Yeah.
right? I mean, is that a reaction to is that a defensive change or is that an attacking decision?
I don't know.
Right, so Pogba first half left and then switched on the right. So that would be to counter Spurs threat here coming through Ericsson, maybe? Is that reactive? I mean, you said he was marking him.
Yeah, towards the end, he was really on top. Everywhere Ericsson went, he was kind of following him a little bit.
So you're saying you put the clamps on Ericsson and Tottenham are going to struggle? Is that
Ericsson's your playmaker, yeah. That's if you can avoid him making an opportunity for your other players.
so? Why
I
don't
agree
more
with that.
why don't more teams do that then? Is it because they don't realize it? They don't have the personnel good enough to actually mark him, or what?
They have to realize it.
Yeah, I think
They
realize.
have to realize it, but
He's
I don't
solid
think. I
2
just
seconds,
think
right?
they're just. Ericsson's just that good.
He's a good player, yeah. And other players don't want to dedicate their entire time to just trying to stop one player.
Let's see, Ericsson in second half.
Yeah, 47 passes, most of them successful
But
passes.
look, how many chances created in the second half? 0. First half, 2. You know,
Was that a tactical change? I mean,
Few-
is that Pogba clamping down on him now?
fewer passes in the first half, right, than in the second. But he did a lot more with less. It was more for him. His attacking was maybe more so positioning wise, right? Like it was having the freedom to go right, to go left, to go center, and making more with those fewer chances, being mobile and all over, rather than in the second half when he was funneled right down the middle, but not really playing passes that were too dangerous, right? Take away the sideways and backwards passes. That's not a lot going forward when you're trailing and you need a goal, right? And you're looking to your creator.
God.
You're trying to meet your maker out there,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. What else do you want to see? Anything else?
I want to see, how many chances did Tottenham create in the second half total? Can we see that?
Total chances? Yeah, we can actually. Let's take a look at that.
Because Christian didn't create any.
Do second half only, can you?
I can't filter by
Yeah.
second half, but
Okay.
if you look at wow, accurate passes in the final third.
3 times.
Oh, I'm not surprised. It's not surprising because when United kind of packed it in, then Tottenham was just doing a
Yeah.
lot of short passes around, just
Right.
all the way around, just trying to find that opening.
It wasn't dangerous. It was just
Oh.
it was just trying to move, just probing, trying to find a way
Mhm.
to create something meaningful.
Mm-hmm. And then getting tired and crossing it in or taking a shot from outside the box.
This hurts a bit too. Only 2 shots on target. You got to do a little better than that, right?
Yeah. I guess that's a testament to United's defensive duties, right?
I think so. Let's take a little preview at tomorrow, Chelsea, Southampton.
I mean, on paper, this should be routine for Chelsea, right? But
This would be
it's still Chelsea
big for Southampton, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this would be massive.
for sure.
Especially with the
for
way their
them-
season's going.
FA Cup would salvage a lot, a lot for the fans.
That'd be kind of bittersweet, though, right?
win
Winning
the
the FA Cup and then
go
getting
down.
relegated.
I guess. What do you do? What do you do with your manager then? At that point, I mean, what do you say? Job well done.
I don't know.
I mean, every way, any stat you look at, Chelsea have got them covered. And the finish of the Premier League, what do you guys think? Anything notable? What are you watching for the rest of the season? Does this result here, Man United beating Spurs, how does that carry over and affect the rest of the season? Is that something that plays out, or is it completely non sequitur as far as Premier League is concerned?
I mean, I think Tottenham. It could be good for Tottenham because that means they get. Well, I guess the FA Cup final is just one more game, one extra game. It's not really that much more work to put in for them, but I don't know if it really has an effect. If anything, maybe just some momentum.
I mean, at this point, Chelsea probably aren't even applying enough pressure to really trouble. Well, Man United are fine, but Spurs, right, for top four, are they really that concerned about it?
Yeah. I don't think there's
How do I get to?
much for
Wait a second.
To league,
Yeah.
you can just pull down
to look into with Tottenham
Okay.
in this game.
I don't remember the standings. Okay.
And Pochettino, how would you assess him so far?
I think he's doing well.
Is he the right man for Spurs,
I
or
think.
has he taken him as far as he can?
Yeah, but I don't think that's a limitation of Pochettino. I think it's a limitation of the team.
The team, the funds, and all that.
Yeah, like you were saying, if you put him on a Man U, you put him on a bigger team with more resources and capabilities, I think he wins a lot more.
So you'd lock him up. You're happy to keep him if you're a Spurs fan.
Yeah, I
He's
think-
the guy you want, right?
Yeah, and then you just hope that you can gather, more advertising, marketing, some wins here,
New stadium revenue.
new stadium revenue, all of that to try and build the prestige. Because you won't be able to attract good players unless you have Pochettino.
Is this okay? This game maybe could have gone either way, but is competing for FA Cup and staying top four, is that best case scenario for Spurs? Could they aim a little higher? Or do you think they're overperforming, or is this maybe about right for where they're at?
I think it's about right. I mean, the Champions League was an opportunity for them. I think they got a little unfortunate there, but I don't think I don't think they have the team to win the Champions League, right?
Sure.
So
Would you have said that about Liverpool a few months ago, though?
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I mean, I
Would you have
definitely
said that
wouldn't
about Roma a few
definitely
months
not either.
And one of them is going to be
Maybe, yeah, right. But that's more of a circumstance of the draw more than it is anything, right?
That's the way the cookie crumbles,
Right. But I don't know. I think Pochettino is a quality coach that you have to keep because you need him to draw more players, good players, people who want to coach under him. Because only good things are said about him from the media, from the players, from other coaches. So players want to come play for a guy who's like that, especially if they know that more resources are being poured into the club. You know what I mean? You lose him, you lose that additional draw factor, in my opinion.
So now he's your biggest recruitment tool is Pochettino, maybe more than the Spurs brand or the current position in the table.
I think part of it is him. Yeah, I don't think it's all or nothing, but yeah. I mean, some of the other players could help playing with
Harry
Eriksen
Kane,
and Dele Alli and Harry Kane. Yeah, that helps. But I think Pochettino is kind of it's a big draw, probably the largest.
Gabi, final thoughts?
I mean, top four is still tough, still close.
Yeah.
Wait, what am I looking at?
That's just for home games.
Oh.
You're at home only. Pull down on home and go to overall. There you go.
No, I think if we're just talking about Mauricio, I think he's the right man. I like his style. I like the style he has his team playing.
His principles, the way he approaches games.
That's why it just helps. It just helps me not like United that much more because they have kind of
the
to me,
antithesis,
they
right?
have just like, and that's, I think Mourinho fits them because they just have that attitude, man. They just have the attitude. It's complete opposite of what I feel like Liverpool and even a team like Tottenham kind of exhibit.
So,
right?
in a world where there is no Jurgen Klopp, you'd be happy with Pochettino at Liverpool. That's the real test.
Yeah. I
if,
would.
If you know, would you have him at your team if you know your current manager wasn't there? That's
Sure. Yeah, I would.
all right.
I say yes.
So Pochettino's
Yes
the
to the
future, just not in this FA Cup. I think that about wraps it up for us here. Thanks for joining us. You have questions, comments, concerns, hate mail for Fabio. Hit us up on all our social accounts.
Also concerns. What kind of concerns do these people
They're very concerned about that. We had apologies for the technical difficulties. I'm sure that somehow it was all Fabio's fault. A little bit of excitement in the final couple minutes there, but thanks for bearing with us, and look forward to having you again. We'll post our next game, so stay tuned for that. And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. I'm Sevi Sanchez, and remember, if you were watching this, you are the convention.
Did you see that? Did you see that play right now?
No.
That was hilarious.
Goal for us, though.